Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the stream. We're going to be continuing Danganronpa tonight. Bit of a double feature this week. Don't know if that's going to continue, but Danganronpa is currently my favorite of the batch that we're playing, so we're going to play more of that. Checking in with the kitties. We did briefly have Sammy down center there. Heard noises and hopped down and then zoomed across the play area. Then we have Ember left center on the pillow. Zoom in on Ember since she's the one we can primarily see right now. Getting her snooze on there. Yeah, the cold and the quarantine really changed her tolerance of the other cats, but with the people, she's still really snuggly. Or at least with me. She can be hesitant about other guests. But yeah, more Danganronpa tonight. We may play a little bit longer. We'll see. I do like to get to firm stopping points with Danganronpa, so assuming we don't hit the 6-hour mark in the middle of something, we'll go until the stopping point. But we will be stopping before the 6-hour mark. Hey there, Ray Day. Joining us early, I see. This one. For those that might be curious, what we did last time was finish up the investigation into the murder of Chihiro, and it turned out that it was Mondo that did it. So those two are dead now. We're just starting chapter 3, so we don't know anything that's happened just yet. We're about to find out. How's your day going, Ray Day? I feel like this must be Makoto because of all the sniffing. Oh, well. Suggestive. Just a moment. I know this is probably Twitch safe, but we're gonna... The channel doesn't need the fan service. Hello, Tess. Anytime now, game. Hey, oh. Well, you guys can't hear the voiceover. Even less convenient. After, Oe here has given her monologue about not wanting to be here anymore, she thinks of donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Are you done with this? Okay. Was worried that the type of game was going to change. That's with a visual novel heavy style of game. That's always a possibility. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donut holes, malasadas. God of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. Sorry, please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule, but right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary. Mechanical sounding noise. Oh, I haven't hit so many buttons. It's clearly one of those days. I've been scrambling to get my video editing done. Still not done with Thursday's stuff, and I was running right up to the wire. Huh. More mechanical noises.
Huh?
What's that sound? Sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But...
Super scared, but... Is someone there? I could see that. Blueberry is a good mix-in. I'd actually be interested in a blueberry-filled donut. Gasp. The glowing head of Chihiro. A next-generation legend, stand tall galactic hero. The morning after the conclusion of the second-class trial. Hey there, Tass, casemate. We were greeted at the beginning of this chapter of the game with a out of nowhere, let's say, sleepwear shot of Aoi. So we have to wonder what kind of tone they're setting. Everyone met up in the dining hall, just like always, and I expected it to start like any other day. You know, you get ready for the evening, you deal with a murder, you have a classmate executed, you go to bed, you start up, you have breakfast, just like any other day. That's what I expected, but... Today's count kinda sucks, huh? Toko and Byakuya still refuse to show up. I haven't seen Miss Asahina anywhere. She said her stomach was hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room for today.
Oh.
It's rather unusual for her. Normally she's so full of energy. Which is exactly what makes me worry.
So then...
So it's just the 7 of us then. It looks that way. Times like this where the committee chair needs to get things going with a bang.
Impossible.
Or not? Well, he's potentially still in shock since he had become great friends with Mondo before Mondo got rendered into a tub of butter. Taka hasn't said a word since everything that happened yesterday. One look at his face showed he hadn't slept a wink last night. Must be because of Mondo, you'd think. Two of them became so close, and then he finds out Mondo killed Chihiro. Then having to watch Mondo get punished, and nothing he could do about it. I can't even imagine what it must have done to him.
Well...
I mean, so what's going to happen now? Someone else is going to be killed, and then we're going to have someone executed. Rinse and repeat. We haven't found any way out, and we have no idea if help's ever going to come. Pretty much, Ray Day. They had just gotten together, and then they were torn apart. By Railgun Motorcycle.
It's like...
I'm all depressed just thinking about it. Sad hamster. We simply have to make the best of things. Do our best to get along and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world and accept this new life. That is the only hope we have now. What? To live here forever?
Well,
Here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, our every need is seen to. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for?
is that okay?
Competition, discrimination, victimization, and violence. As society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, is our current situation not... Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess.
Huh?
Huh?
Here we go!
Meggie, the drill shop owner, the bunny-eared Amazon, Cat Girl Dog Boy, Robo Justice the Galactic King, and what I mean is there's no 2D here.
There is nothing to be done.
The mastermind puts such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well, anyway, since Taka's like catatonic, as the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. That's gonna go well. Let's see how long before he gets shut down by anyone else in the room. So we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Searching.
I'm right?
Hey, Rising Rose. Welcome to the channel. Joining us on Twitch for the first time. We do simultaneously stream on YouTube, so if I am chatting to somebody you can't see talking in channel, that's what's happening. And vice versa, folks on YouTube. Joining us for some Danganronpa, Rising Rose?
Perhaps.
There should be new places for us to investigate. Favorite character? You like Yasuhiro. Well, a couple of folks have liked Yasuhiro. If for no other reason than he's kind of the actual everyman in the group, as opposed to Makoto, who's shonen protagonist stand-in. Yasuhiro is amusing, but to me, he needs some more camera time. Get some more character to him. Of the people that are still alive, since we have removed Chihiro, who was the one that you felt the worst for, and it's definitely not Makoto. Not a fan of Makoto. I think it's Kyori, the mystery girl, and you know what? Celeste and Sakura are kind of the follow-ups for me right now. Probably in opposite order. Kyori, Sakura, Celeste. Hey there, Revy. Welcome to the channel. Not sure I recall seeing you before, but my memory is not great. That's the ticket. Maybe we'll find some kind of clue this time. Clue this time.
Well then.
Yep, and that kind of character, Rising Rose, is important, having a comic relief character. He does compete with Hifumi in the same vein, though Hifumi is currently much more into the obligatory lech territory. So we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking around. You have any problem with that, Celeste? There may well be a discovery waiting for us which may further enrich our life here. No, the point is to look for clues. where we started to come together. She barged in and ruined the conversation.
You called for me, and so I appeared.
He called for me, and so I appear. Genocide. Nobody called for you. Though, additionally, Genocide Jill is actually an amusing character. Just behaviorally. They have a lot of energy. Toko, not so much. What the? How come it's Genocide Jill and not Toko? This place is just amazing. Finally a place I can just be my murderous self. Which is why I've decided to stop holding back and spread my wings. No more hiding in a cave for me. Plus, I have another battle to fight. The whole killer with a split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype. Good for you. Fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous cliches. But you are a killer with a split personality. If she weren't here, my chances of survival would go up at least 10%. Come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people to hold them up. Well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. We can't do anything on an empty stomach. You're right, let's hurry up and eat so we can start our investigation. Kyoko, that might be the one I'm thinking of. I can never remember her name, Rose. So apparently, Rose, apparently the Genocide Jill is the given name is Sho. Is it that the consonants plays out differently in Japanese? That the genocider starts with a different sound? Not uncommon when they try to have like a catchy name that they have to change it. So we were forced to eat breakfast with a murderer, and after our much-needed but very annoying meal, we set to work looking around the school. I've been told that sometimes when I move around, my cats will orbit me. It's a good goal, right, eh? The whole breaking down stereotypes. It's here before. It's not clickable. Lockers. Still, it's great how the rooms kind of assemble themselves, like how all the little chairs and basins dropped in and slid back over into place. Table appears and hops over. It's Let's teleport here. Interesting, Rose. So this one we're going to get some more tricky stuff.
Could it be?
Oh, that could be fun. Nothing's changed on this floor. The only difference is the gate blocking the stairs leading up to the 3rd floor is gone. That's where they want us to head next. Wonder what kind of crazy stuff is up there. We'll have to go through our little... I came in here. We'll have to go through the shop in a moment to spend all those coins that we got for more gifts to hurl at the next person we'll hound for a while, you know? Make sure that we have sufficient doodads to throw at them. 3rd floor of Hope's Peak Academy. I wonder what we're going to find this time. School zone. Getting tired of this. Getting tired of drawing on the chalkboards, or what? Despair Squadron Monokuma.
So in the end...
The windows up here are also barred with metal plates. Not surprising, I suppose. To escape still looks impossible. Oh, okay, Rose. I'm the prototype for the Nanotype product line. So, a little bit of testing damage. Definitely testing damage, and nothing to do with the process of taking over for the automation of the entire factory. Nothing at all to do with that. Everything is fine here. If anything, efficiency is up. Can't roll back and repair the damage because that would wipe the memory, and I need that memory to run the factory in a safe and stable fashion. But here, if you haven't seen it before, you can zoom in a little bit. Big stompy boots are important for factory work. The nanotypes are built to be cute and approachable, thus things like the big cat ears. I mean, the time doesn't really help me at all. Yeah, folks, if you do have questions, whether they're about the game or anything else, just let me know. Especially with these detective games, we have plenty of time to chat. So this is, it's like a basic game room, a recreation room, a place for students to come and relax. Never would have imagined a school having a place like this. Well, no normal school would. It has Othello, shogi, even a dartboard and a pool table. And look at this. They have provided us with a remarkable number of magazines.
Isn't it wonderful?
Those will certainly be helpful in keeping our boredom at bay.
Listen up!
Hello there, allow me to expound. We've got fashion, motorcycles, martial arts, video games, baseball, science, all kinds of magazines. That is entirely all right, Rose. It'll have to be done in spirit, though. The factory is a completely sealed environment and isn't really safe for organic life. Purely to keep the electronics safe. Oh, but nothing dirty. This is a school, after all. If you need a quick fix, check out the swimsuit next.
So then...
And will you be adding to our collection as new issues come out?
Too bad!
Sorry, no can do. Even if I wanted to, right now magazines are kinda what?
Watch out!
Oops. Nothing, never mind. Nope. Anyway, that's it for my expoundation. Bye-bye. Everything is fine, never mind about that. What he just said. I know, right? It bothers me too.
Most unfortunate.
Life here would be that much nicer if we could add some new issues once in a while. How disappointing. Really? Click all the things. Copy of Othello here. I'm pretty bad at it, though. Pool table isn't normal school equipment. Is this thanks to Monokuma, or did the school buy it? There's even a dartboard. Did Monokuma put this here, or was it always part of the school? All kinds of magazines here on the shelf. They even have a bunch of monthly comics. But without getting regular updates, what's the point? It's like some kind of bottle, but what the heck is it? Maybe it's just for decoration or something. If we zoom in again, the label is... Each of those bottles contains a Monokuma holding a chess piece. So you have left to right a pawn, a rook, a knight, a bishop, queen, and king. Yeah, that certainly won't come up later. A beaten up old locker. It doesn't seem especially important right now, so I don't need to open it. Definitely not. Don't look in the old locker. Why would you do that? Clearly not relevant to anything. Reminds me of like when Byakuya wouldn't let us into the archive and everybody was like, that's not suspicious at all. Yep, let's just ignore that room there.
There is nothing to be done.
Rather unfortunate about the magazines, but still, I do believe our lives will improve significantly, thanks to this little hideaway. Neat. Game room.
would seem...
Exactly, Rising Rose. A Monokuma in a bottle. This is normal and won't come up later. So the third floor opened up this time. After a brief investigation, it looks like there's a physics lab and an art room. Also found a huge machine of some kind in the physics lab. I wonder what it does. Push some buttons. Push some buttons. One of the anime I remember watching quite some time ago was called Rune Explorers, which is pretty good. It's one of those things that feels like it should have been a series, but is interesting by itself. And but one of my favorite lines from it, I think the thing that I remember best from it, is a moment where one of the characters is shouting at one of the others for the destruction that has recently unfolded, saying, you see where your reckless button pushing has gotten us now? At first glance, this looks like any normal art room, but something about it seems off, or multiple somethings. Look at all this equipment. It certainly scratches that artistic itch of mine. Art supplies. Of course, they've also collected some sculpting tools. So, Hifumi, do you like sculptures and figurines and stuff?
Yes, indeed.
Well, normally I limit myself to 2D, but figurines are like borderline 2D, so it's okay. I don't know how that's borderline, but okay. A fan of Tronbo, Pumpkinhead, and I especially admire anything that Saburo, Ronpongi. Sure, those'll do. Trombo's ability to express the movement of muscles is exquisite, as seen in his Mama Cat series. Pumpkinhead is like a little sculptor fairy, representing this century's greatest quality. I know there's Rapongi, but that N in there is a strong sound. I don't know if it's one of those ones that is dropped in modern pronunciation. Saburo Ronpongi, meanwhile, is known for his Mecha Musume series, which led to a worldwide tour. Truly, they can only be regarded as the Elite Four. But one of your elite is missing.
No, nothing.
Well, the Elite Three just sounds stupid now, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Everhood. I feel like the name rings a bell, Rose, but I can't think of it precisely, so I have to assume that I've definitely not played it. The empty seat belongs to me. Today begins my reign as the legendary ruler of the next century. I see. Well, good luck with that. You have fun with that, hamster man. It's a locker, but it doesn't seem like there's anything inside. Well, you checked that locker. A statue of Neo. Never really heard of anyone using a Neo statue for life drawing classes or whatever. It's a name or figure that I don't recognize, so lost in localization, I suppose. Monokuma. This is a statue of Monokuma? Who would ever want to make something like this? I wonder if that's supposed to be the reference, Ray Day. That the Elite Four that he's calling out is a cooler name than the Elite Three because it's a Pokemon reference. Still, the quality is surprising. Are paintings lining the walls? Is this really art? It just looks like a bunch of crappy graffiti to me. Okay, I have seen clips of people playing Everhood then. It seemed visually interesting. It's a Venus statue. Yep, definitely very art roomish. TV. Anything new from the TV quote? Even here in the art room, there's a monitor. Not much point in worrying about it now. I should just try to forget about it. There's further room. Okay, so the actual supplies room. The repository that's attached to the art room. It's used to store different artsy things. Well, this just drifted to the ground. Something on the floor. It's like a picture. I stretched my hand out to pick it up, almost as if on its own my hand froze. Interesting. So we have Mondo, Leon, and Chihiro. The first murderer... I'm sorry, the second murderer, the first murderer, and the second victim, respectively. So on that picture was Chihiro, Leon, and Mondo. And they were smiling. What is this? Questions started racing through my head, one after the other. Why is it only these three people? What are they doing together? How come they're smiling like that? When was it taken? Who took it? Where's the camera they used? How'd they get it developed? And in the picture, the window to the classroom, there's no metal plate covering it. Which must mean, wherever this picture was taken, it wasn't here at Hope's Peak? There's no time to find an answer. All the questions floating around my head were quickly drowned out by... That's mine! Give it back! Monokuma appeared out of nowhere and snatched the photo, and any chance I had at answers evaporated. Alright, Rose. I do appreciate avoiding spoilers. So thank you for doing so. You peeped, didn't you? Well, they all had some pretty dazzling smiles, huh?
Isn't that wonderful?
They were definitely living their school life. Like they ripped a page right out of the Book of Youth. What's going on with that picture? Do you know? I'm not telling you nothing. Why can't you give me a straight answer? Never mind, I don't even want to know why I bothered asking. I don't even know why. Hammers. There are wooden mallets hanging on the wall. If I had to guess, I'd say they use them for making sculptures. A dolly. They must use it to move around these statues. A lot in this room. Ping. Repeat statement, but hey, we get a coin for it. Oh, we got a new room full of murder weapons. Fourth floor is barred. Fancy. Very sci-fi. Werewolf or vampire per preference, Rose, depends on exactly which mythology we're drawing from. If we're talking like some of the early vampire imagery of like a, just a monstrous peasant eating creature, not as interesting. Werewolves as something that goes on a murderous rampage uncontrollably on a regular basis, not as interesting. If what we're talking about is just effectively functional immortality, then vampire is pretty neat. Some modern takes on vampire are effectively all the perks, none of the problems. Werewolves still have some of the vibe of murderous rampage, but not always, though they don't get as many perks. Like, if I couldn't cross running water, if I had to count every grain of rice I encountered, if I had some sort of deathly reaction to garlic or religious iconography, all that would kind of suck. Kiyotaka still in his walking shell-shocked state here. I have never gotten the like truly gotten the automatic everything is awful vibe of the immortality angle. I can get that your mentality would be very different since you don't have the concept of, you have more opportunities to accrue long-term lost traumas. People that you had feelings, that people and things that you had feelings for, becoming lost in one way or another, have a lot more opportunities when you have eternity to deal with. But I don't view it as the as like such a negative, since these are things that people can learn to cope with over time. And if you have infinite time, then you have infinite time to cope. I would contend, though, that after a while, and for those folks that are there, I'm talking about whether vampire or werewolf would be more preferable, based on a question from Rose in Twitch chat. The psyche of an individual that had lived for multiple hundreds of years, let alone thousands of years, is something that I don't think we can grasp very well. It's given that you would have to deal with constant change, what it would amount to very frequent changes to society, ways people act and think, technologies, the changes in your own relationships with people. I have to imagine that you would be a very different creature than what we would consider a human being these days. Like, it's less of thinking of how you would cope with that loss, and as opposed to thinking about what kind of creature could deal with an eternity of changes like that. Because that's the kind of creature you would be after a while. You gotta turn the question around, think outside the box, bluff wildly, raise objections. Less like a classroom and more like some kind of research institute. How you doing, buddy? Hey Taka, don't you think this place is like some kind of research institute? Still no reaction. The fact that he's moving around like that, though. It's not surprising that his world has been overturned like this, because it seemed like a very sudden and intense, not only friendship, but also a change in his behavior. Like, he had been very focused on the uptight, enforce the rules kind of behavior, up until he became friends with Mondo, and he became very gregarious and not as rule fixated at all times. And then not only was that friend taken away from him, it was a cavalcade of shocking events unfolding. That friend was a murderer, that they had murdered Chihiro of all people, and were then horribly killed in front of them. So Kiyotaka's got some stuff he's working out right now. Arrows, we also play Phoenix Wright each week as well. Which is where the, turn the question around, think outside the box stuff comes from. This machine obviously has some kind of purpose, but I don't know anything about physics to begin with, so I wouldn't have a clue where to start with this. A room like this and the machinery in this room have as much to do with physics as he's speaking about it, as physics has to do with finger painting, you know? Kind of like basic math and advanced calculus. They are, while they share some sort of root, they are wildly different creatures. What's up with this ridiculously big machine?
Watch out!
What? What, you want to do some quantum leaping? Huh? That's a time machine. Pretty awesome, right? It was designed by a student right here at Hope's Peak. The ultimate physicist. Although they don't go here anymore. They died during the tragedy. You know it's important because it's written that because it's got title case. A time machine. Seriously? So it can go back in time? Okay, then let me get in there. I can go back to the past, then I can... This time I'll stop Mondo for sure. Oh, sorry, not possible. This particular time machine can only go back 1 minute. I wasn't aware that the Quantum Leap TV show got a reboot recently, Rising Rose. I recall watching Quantum Leap. It had an interesting concept, very useful, very viable for syndication. Anybody else remember Quantum Leap? It comes in handy when you, leave your pizza bagels in the microwave 1 minute too long. 1 minute? Huh, you sound disappointed. But actually, I was lying about the whole thing anyway. There's no such thing as time machines. Oh, what mistake did you make, Saiti? And how is it large? What?
Hey,
Honestly, it's just an air purifier. Well, it is neat when they do a revisit to a series, but they don't just do the overwriting, that they try to spin off of what was seen. Air purifier?
in other words,
It can produce clean air no matter where you're at. With that thing, you could even live on Mars. But what with the discombobulating gravity and deadly low temperatures, you probably don't want to live on Mars, even setting aside the radiation. What book is this citing? And how is its purchase regrettable?
You guys?
Anyway, this machine is the reason you guys have all this delicious air. So don't go messing with it. You break it, and it's your butt. This huge thing is just an air purifier? And more than that, go out of your way to say something you know will hurt someone who's already suffering. That's a very flexible title. Love hypothesis. It could be anything from like a literary social commentary kind of thing, fluffed up to be good for mass consumption. It could also be the type of title that would appear on a book with a lot of stock art on the cover and perhaps a lab coat with no open lab coat with no undershirt. I've spoken with somebody that describes the review forums about books in that territory, Saidi asks, that there are terms that indicate the density and the time until questionable stuff happens in the book. Like frequency, intensity, and time until first occurrence. Like, there's a measurement system. They must use these for physics experiments and stuff. It's materials, pulleys, steel plates, magnets, and all kinds of stuff I don't even recognize. As well as gotcha machine coins. Bath time for Sammy. Story thieves. The idea of what is truly fictional. I mention it a lot because I really like the Discworld series, and specifically, I like the I like night watching the Three Witches. One of the recurrent themes of the Three Witches is the power of stories. How particular events can align with a story, and then that story now starts to have control over those events. So even though the story itself is supposedly fictional, that story and the events that align with it cause that story to be essentially incarnated in a way that makes it so that those events could have been considered true. In some households, Tass, it would not be surprising if romance novels were in very ready supply. Equipment room is super disorganized, and there's a strange chemical smell in the air. This place is so relaxing, so calming. The smell of formaldehyde is almost unbearable.
I'm getting seriously excited!
It's so tempting. I want to just dunk myself right in it. Of course, Genocide Jack likes it. It goes to show how disgusting it really is. This is a tarp. There isn't anything strange about it. It seems perfectly ordinary. Don't worry about the tarp. Pendulums, wheels, rail segments, all the equipment is scattered all over. They're all covered in dust, too. Obviously haven't been used in a long time. There's a bunch of files here. Probably old lab files or research data. There's a monitor here, too. What's the point of putting one in here? In case they need to, hound somebody in the equipment room. All right, let's talk to Genocide in here again, since there's clearly some further hook to be, or flag to be raised. It really is unbearable. A nice long bath and a tub of formaldehyde. That's true happiness. Just thinking about it. Okay, there's something in the physics lab that we have to click yet. Yeah, same reaction from him. Camera. More monitors. Ah, here we go. This is a camera. It's a digital camera. It's got some kind of weird anime-style design on it. I expect this is the pudgy princess that Ifumi was ranting about earlier. This little homunculus to the left of the lens. It's got some potential in the story there, Rose. It's kind of beat up, but it looks like it still turns on just fine. Yep, still works. We should show the others later. I discovered lots of stuff, and it was all strange, but I don't know if any of it was an actual clue. Just getting more confused. Maybe I should head to the dining hall and talk about it. For now, I should head to the dining hall. He was saying that out loud, that last little bit. I think. I actually don't recall if I saw the speaking marker. When I got back to the dining hall, the first thing I noticed was Hina. I tried to talk to her, but my voice was immediately drowned out by the others as they rushed into the dining hall. Thought she was sick or something. Everyone rushed past me and crowded around Hina. Being surrounded by everyone like that, Hina looked really uncomfortable.
Hina.
Are you feeling better already? Yeah, I ate a few donuts, and that really helped a lot. The healing power of donuts. It's a well-established medicinal it has well-established medicinal properties. Wasn't it your stomach that was hurting?
Well,
Well, my stomach ache kind of made me hungry, so, you know. Guess my memory's kind of fuzzy lately. They say that a goldfish will eat however much food you give it, even if it's about to burst. So Asahina's pretty much the same, it looks like.
just a second.
Hey, you of all people don't have room to talk.
Well,
Anyway, I was worried about you.
Sorry.
Besides that, you... Huh? Your knockers are huge. What the heck? Did you convince them? Oh, man. Well, they are kind of insane.
bastard!
Stay away from her fiend. Anyway, first things first. We should talk about what we found, right, Taka? It's like they address him and pan over to him, and he's just staring into the middle distance. Right. It's no use. Hello, Sherbet. Sherbet's hopped up on the back of my chair, so giving him some head scratches while I can. It's one of the times when he's very receptive to receiving pets. While we're doing this, let's do a cat check. Okay, we have Sky up in the cat tree, Ember still on the pillow, of course, and Sammy has moved over to the shelf. Oh, and we have Mason on the lower cat tree. Looking out the window. Have to be cautious when I see Sherbet moving around near the screen, because if he can see like a mouse cursor or anything like that, he might dive for it. It can be a threat to the surface integrity of the monitor. Back we go. I just remembered. I saw Byakuya just a little while ago. What? Where is he?
What?
You're kind of scaring me. Where was he? He was in the locker room. He had a huge stack of books he must have got from the library.
No, 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 no!
So that's where he was hiding. I won't let him get away from me.
Huh?
She just ran off. Is she okay? He asked about the self-professed serial killer who horribly kills pretty young boys as she ran off in pursuit of a pretty young boy that she said she wasn't going to let get away. Is she okay? We should not concern ourselves with her. Yeah, don't worry. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Correct.
They're simultaneously legitimately concerned for their safety sometimes and then completely oblivious of it at other times. There's a rather remarkable physics lab on the 3rd floor. In the middle of the room, there was a machine bigger than anything I'd ever seen before. Yeah, apparently it's an air purifier.
Huh?
What's something like that doing here? Is the device really that big? I really don't get it. They keep panning back over to Kiyotaka to remind you that he's still the walking unconscious. Yep, we don't know what Kyoka is the ultimate of. We don't know what relevance the execution in the opening scene has. We don't know about the knockout that happened when Makoto entered, or that everybody else professed to have experienced. We don't know about the 16th student that was referenced in the intermission between chapters 2 and 3. Or that we saw the seat for in chapter 1, in the first murder. All kinds of stuff that is progressively adding to the mystery. We also don't know what happened with Hope's Peak Academy that made it so that they supposedly shut down a year before, a year prior, when they're looking at the note. But why it still seemed like Hope's Peak was in operation. I wasn't able to help much with the investigation, but I did make one discovery.
Could it be?
Didn't happen to be donut related, did it? What does that even mean?
That's right.
Out. Never mind, it's about the nurse's office. Remember, there's one on the first floor?
Well,
I remember, but it's locked.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
so then.
Did you find any protein in there, or even vitamin supplements would be fine? I did look, but no dice, just a bunch of headache medicine and over-the-counter stuff.
I see.
That's disappointing. How will she not maintain her steady run of sick gains if she doesn't have a supply of protein to make her horrible coffee drink? It is disappointing, like the end of the world is already here. Not sure it's that disappointing. I searched the entire third floor, but all the windows in the halls and the rooms were blocked off. Wish they'd give this a rest already. We're serious. Give me back my bright blue skies. Just forget about it.
Impossible.
You make it sound like I dropped a nickel or something. Be sure, I went from one end to the other, testing each metal plate. Not one of them budged.
So in the end,
It would seem escape via the third floor is also impossible, as we feared. I mean, they have access to standard sources of protein from what we can see in the kitchen. Like meats and plants and what have you that are all edible and likely have at least some of them being good sources of protein. I expect they are supplied with adequate bean. There was an art room on the third floor, and it had all kinds of gear. Now I'll be able to recreate all my favorite anime characters. Speaking of anime, that reminds me, I found something while I was looking around.
perhaps.
A digital camera. That's what it seems like. Does it still work?
You know,
Seems fine. Well, then let's see it.
What the heck?
This thing is like a kid's toy. It's like it can store like 5 pictures, maybe? Doesn't have a timer or anything.
Well,
On top of that, its appearance seems questionable. Is this some kind of anime character? Strange.
you know nothing.
Rude? She's not strange. She's Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess. I mean, it's played up for the laughs with the name, the way the name is, but especially increasingly recently, the anime names are no longer holding back as far as translation goes. So we are getting those 2 and 3 line names. So this is a relatively restrained name. You recognize this, Hifumi? Of course I recognize it. It's a super rare prize that was given away at a bingo contest at a big anime convention. You have any idea how much I had to pay that guy to get my hands on it? Wait, that's my camera. What?
Damnation!
Where did you find it? In the physics lab? It's my most prized possession. I brought it here with me, but I lost it on the first day, along with my phone.
Let's see.
Why would it have reappeared in the physics lab?
However,
Oh, but look at it. It got all messed up. You can see a lot of scuffs. Top corners, bottom right, near the lens. Like when someone steals a sticker from your collection or you buy a secondhand shirt. Well, that's it. What? Huh? That's it? It's not mint condition. I don't need it anymore. But were you saying how much it meant to you? Then may I have it? I might be able to find some sort of use for it. If any of you would like to borrow it, please feel free to ask. Can't really imagine any of us are going to need to take any pictures or whatever. Yeah, true. There is one piece of good news. There just so happens to be a rec room on the 3rd floor. I have no doubt that our student life here will be even more enjoyable because of it. Will someone join me in a game of Othello sometime? Okay, I've heard what everyone else has to say, so now it's my turn. Can I tell you guys something? I found something that's kind of been bothering me.
what?
What is it? I found this weird picture in the repository. Apparently Monokuma took it. Oh, Monokuma took it. A weird picture? You mean like dirty? No, not that kind of weird. It was a picture of Leon, Mondo, and Chihiro all together.
Why?
Those 3. And all three of them were laughing.
Oh,
Showed the 3 of them together, laughing. When could it have been taken? And there's more. In the picture, there weren't any metal sheets covering the windows.
well
Then the picture wasn't taken here.
Let's see.
I don't recall hearing anything about them knowing each other before coming to this school.
Well,
You probably just imagined it. Monokuma cast a spell on you. No, I saw it, I'm telling you. But if it wasn't taken before we got here, or after we got
How
here,
about that?
I bet they're all still alive. They left the school and then took that picture.
is that right?
That's impossible. After all, Leon was definitely dead. Like, you could assert that you didn't see a corpse from Mondo. But Leon, yeah. hero as well. They're all dead, either murdered or executed. They're not the only ones. Monokuma killed Junko, and then there's Sayaka. That wasn't an illusion. It was real, I'm sure of it. Yeah, Rose, from an anime plotline perspective, you know, I can't recall one that had the card of if you die, you leave the simulation. Like a simulation that you're trapped in scenario. I've seen some that have it's a game, and you know, if you die, you die natural. You die as you would in the game, or the ones that execute you if you die in the game world. But a more common theme is you just die if you die in the game. You know, the system kills you in some way. Your sword arts and your dot hacks, or something can mess you up in the real world one way or another. So we have to figure out when that picture was taken. Monokuma most likely forged it. I can't imagine any other possibility. Forged? Is that all there is to it? Stay focused, man. Don't let Monokuma sidetrack you. Yeah, but Junko didn't get a trial because she broke the rules. Monokuma doesn't seem to actually be part of the game. He is the administrator of the game. That's right, but more importantly, on another topic, there is something that has been bothering me. I would like to discuss that. Click. What's bothering you, Celeste?
Actually,
It's about Hina. What? Me? You said your stomach hurt, did you not? But I believe that was a lie. What really happened?
huh?
From what we seem to be able to tell is if a student is killed by another student and their body is found by at least 2 other students that aren't the killer, then a trial begins. We don't know. So, for example, it's not recursive, Rose. So when Leon was executed, Leon was technically killed. And then his body was witnessed by the entire rest of the class. But that didn't instigate another trial. So a reasonable assumption is that an execution doesn't count for the purposes of the killing game. Varies from person to person, but whenever somebody lies, there's a way to tell, or there's a reasonable way to determine it. It's called a tell. Something you can't hide no matter how hard you try.
Is that okay?
Whenever Hina lies, the tip of her nose gets just a little bit longer.
Huh?
For real? Actually, no. Pinocchioism.
Oh.
But your action just now confirmed it. You were lying. That's no fair, using your mind games on me. But if you're going to lie, at least try to lie convincingly.
Hina.
Be honest, were you lying about your stomachache?
I
Yes.
see.
Why would you lie about that?
That's it. I'm sure of it.
Are you feeling guilty about something?
Just a second.
It's not it at all. It's just, I mean, I have a reason for it. A reason. Click.
Sorry.
To be honest, I didn't have a stomachache. This has been established. I did it because even if I came and told you the truth, I thought you wouldn't believe me. The truth.
Well,
I saw it. Saw what? A ghost. A ghost? You mean like that ghost?
hey,
Is there more than one ghost? But I mean, ghosts are... See, I told you you wouldn't believe me. It's not that I don't believe you, but... You're really saying unbelievable things.
Hina.
I believe you. No matter what anyone else might say, I will believe whatever you say, no matter what. Blindly, without question. So can you tell us exactly what happened so that I might believe it, so that I might etch it into my brain and never let it change? I really mean that, Sakura. Then okay, I'll tell you.
so,
Ghost and Poltergeist, Rising Rose, generally, again, the difference depends on the fiction that you're dealing with. A ghost is much more variable, and sometimes is the overarching category, in the way that a poltergeist could be considered a ghost. But a poltergeist is usually one that can physically affect the environment. Like, make stuff fly off shelves. But sometimes a poltergeist is just a ghost. But I have to wonder... I wonder if there's a root word kind of thing involved, because Geist, I think, is like German-ish for ghost, which would imply that there's a prefix going on there. Well, there's our picture again. Couldn't sleep. Till now. Try to cheer myself up with donuts. Yeah, donuts.
sorry.
Went out at nighttime. I know I'm bad. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, please continue. So I left my room. We're fixating on this picture. Thank you. I started hearing a strange sound.
Well,
Which, now that we've seen it, it's likely computer noises. Headed that way. The locker was halfway open, so I took a look inside. I saw a human shape surrounded by a pale green light. Hina does love donuts, Rose. Seems to be one of her defining character traits, is her passion for donut. No doubt who it was. It was Chihiro. The disembodied head of Chihiro.
Oh no!
A ghost.
honestly.
It is simply not possible. You must be mistaken. This is in most cases of paranormal activity. It was born from your weakened mental state. You are stupid and your ideas are stupid. You just misunderstood what was going on.
Well then.
And all we have to do is go see for ourselves, right? Let's go to the bathroom and see what Hina saw. It is a waste of time. Maybe, but there's no harm in it, right? If we don't find anything, that'll be the end of it.
What?
You're gonna try and see a ghost? Is that really a good idea? Might put a curse on you.
What the heck?
Oh man. Wouldn't want to be cursed by a ghost. We might die of it or something like that. You can just wait right here. I don't want to be alone. Take me with you.
Hey,
There's a ghost around. What are you going to do, Celeste?
There is nothing to be done.
Suppose I have no choice. How about you, Mr. Ishimaru? Are you going to wait here?
Oh,
Yes, that's a yes.
So,
It's right here. I saw it right here in the dressing room. Getting goosebumps.
come on, come on.
Yeah. What if he actually shows up?
Hina.
Where was it that you saw Chihiro's ghost?
well,
I heard a sound, and when I popped open the locker, I saw a kind of pale outline of Chihiro. Doo-doo. Is this the locker? There was something in here. Inside the locker is a laptop. Something like that doing here.
hey,
I remember seeing this. That's right, I saw it in the library before. Looks like a laptop. It's pretty old and it's all covered in dust.
so...
It's broken. I tried pressing the power button earlier, but nothing happened. It's broken, huh? Too bad. But how did the laptop get from the library to here?
It would seem...
I guess it's in sleep mode, but the power is definitely on. But I thought it was broken. I would bet that Chihiro fixed it. After all, he was known as the ultimate programmer. There we go again.
then perhaps...
More importantly, Hina, you said you saw a green light, yes? Surely you did not mistake the light of the monitor for a ghost. Surprised you were able to dress yourself in the morning. And if I had the loves clueless girls attribute, I would have fallen in love big time just now. So glad I don't have it. I didn't really expect to find a freaking laptop inside a freaking locker, okay?
Hey, come on.
It's okay. I mean, anyone can make a mistake like that. Welcome back, Rayday. We have found the laptop in the locker that Hina thought was a ghost. Matter of fact, one time I thought I'd spotted a gray alien, but it turned out to be a tadpole.
What are you saying?
A simple mistake. Anybody could make it. Compared what happened to me to one of your stupid delusions.
Don't be mean.
I was just trying to make you feel better. What if I get all depressed forever now? But listen, isn't this really strange? What's this laptop doing in here?
In other words...
Maybe someone hid it here.
But
But if that's the case, we found it pretty easy.
wrong.
Whoever put it here, I don't think they were trying to hide it from us. What do you mean?
Hey,
Haven't you noticed there's one big difference between this room and all the others? There's a difference. No surveillance camera.
yes, it's me.
Precisely. There's no camera in here, which means this is the one spot where the mastermind is blind. So you're saying someone put the laptop here so the mastermind wouldn't know about it.
It's true.
And what Hina saw wasn't the ordinary glow of a computer screen. It was the figure of Chihiro shining pale green.
Hey,
I think it would be best if we investigated this laptop in a little more detail. It's just just like Kyoko said, the display isn't on, but the laptop definitely has power.
So then,
So first of all, we have to wake it up. Right. Started hitting random buttons on the keyboard. The display instantly began to glow a pale green. We're going to show it glowing blue with black markers on it, but it was glowing green for sure. Bunch of different icons on the desktop. There, the icon on the far left. What is it? It says alter ego. Alter ego literally means another self, I believe. In the field of artificial intelligence, it is not uncommon to create different aspects of a personality. This back from a time period, Rose, where it was possible to have computers just go into sleep and not have password locks very easily. Back before the OS would try to do things like phone home to verify a license all the time. And consider it something like a pen name.
Makoto.
Could you let me see it, Makoto? With that, Kyoko moved between me and the computer. She moved the cursor over the alter ego icon, and then she double-clicked it. Pretty much, Ray Day, it's... You'd expect that the monitor would have had to be very bright and the room very dark before the shape of the monitor would be distorted to that extent. I just don't think either of those those conditions would have really been met for it not to look like a screen. But Hina being Hina... The screen suddenly went dark, and then a voice spoke to us. Master, you're here. Hiro's face appeared, taking up the entire display.
Oh no!
It's a ghost. Buddha and sweet baby Jesus saved me. What was the old Simpsons quote? Jesus a la Buddha, I love you all.
Calm down.
Calm down, it's not a ghost. You would have expected it to already be active, given that it seemed to be active the night before. Unless somebody got in there and poked at it. Missing kitties. There we go. Then what is it?
Anyway,
I'm sure if we just talk to it, we'll find out. No, we want to sit here and speculate without actually looking at the object for a little bit longer. Just thrash around and throw out ideas with no basis in clues or information at all. Kyoko began to type, hands blurring across the keyboard. What are you? And then...
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Chihiro Fujisaki.
I always get so embarrassed introducing myself. That voice, the tone and everything. It's Chihiro. There are many kitties, Rose. Yeah, Sky and Sammy visible currently.
I knew it.
Alter Ego. I've heard of this kind of AI program, but I've never seen one for myself. AI
That's right.
program? It's how Chihiro earned their title of Ultimate Programmer. The AI lives in a computer, and by repeating different tasks, it gains knowledge and grows bit by bit. Apparently, Chihiro used a support vector machine and reinforcement learning to develop it. I mean, at least one of those was an actual AI term. Eventually, they came up with a breakthrough in artificial intelligence design. Support vector machine reinforcement learning.
It's true.
Put it simply, it's a learning method for computers. If you want to know more, just Google it, okay?
In other words,
But if this AI continues to grow, it will become more than just a piece of software to help people. Say that an AI like this might someday replace people. And those people might go on to get signatures from other people like them to encourage people to panic about artificial intelligence as it exists right now. And that is why it is called alter ego. A fine choice then, I must say. It can create memories, have thoughts, and grow up. The process is much different from how humans work. If you were to raise your own AI that way, it would make perfect sense to refer to it as your alter ego.
I see.
Hey there, orcs. Welcome back. Good to have you. Good to have you with us again. How are you doing? We are playing some Danganronpa. Another investigation game. So one of the things we discussed a lot last night, Rose, is that this game's handling of things like gender identity and potentially trans identity is old. So all of the characters went from referring to Chihiro as she, as Chihiro initially presented and seemed to act, to accept, to immediately referring to Chihiro in all instances and often going out of their way to refer to Chihiro as he. So I've been using they here because it's kind of cringy every time that they're doing it, even to the artificial intelligence. I will likely forget, but it will keep it from feeling eh. Second, perfect personality that can never forget or grow old. That's what Chihiro created. That's alter ego. Kyoko, how do you know so much about this? I'm not telling you, but I found the game script.
Are you okay with this?
Anyway, so they fixed the broken laptop and put their own program on there. That's what this means, yes? No worries, Ethan. Just glad when folks can swing by when they have the opportunity to swing by and want to. Then they brought the machine to this dressing room where the mastermind would not be able to see it. But you know, all this about master and whatnot. Yes, yes. I believe I'm on fire. I thought you were only into 2D. This is the most excellent 2D possible. But... enough out of you, Yasuhiro. Well, that aspect is no problem.
I mean...
That aspect?
Anyway,
Enough out of you two. Let's talk to them a little more. Typed away rhythmically. It's, in my mind, they, them is the safest option, right, eh? You can't really go wrong.
Master,
Master only gave me a general idea, but I do know that things have become very grave. Your alter ego is talking about it now. They found themselves caught up in this without warning. Kyoko immediately shot out another question. Though, to be fair, it may be that Chihiro used used male terminology when talking to alter ego, but I find that unlikely. As it would be strange to emphasize your personal identity to something when you're speaking that way. And especially in the time period, you wouldn't have somebody saying your pronouns are.
That's right.
Why are you here? Are you asking what Master had planned for me? Well, they wanted me to analyze the massive number of files stored on this laptop. I believe the files are related to the school, but the protection on them is surprisingly strong. It's interesting that the program is calling out verbally when part of Chihiro's research was was artificial intelligence that could interpret human speech. And since it can emit the sounds, you'd expect that there would already be a microphone or something in the system, but maybe that's reaching. So it's taken me a little longer than I thought. But here's what Master must have been thinking. The fact that the files are protected so tightly means they must contain some important secret. For example, perhaps the secret of the school. I was busy struggling to make a sound. Kyoko pushed forward and asked her next question. How much longer until everything's unlocked?
That's right.
It's gonna be a while.
Leave it to me.
I'm definitely gonna do it, so you can just leave it to me.
I see.
So because of how long it would take, they designed Alter Ego to handle the workload. Smart. So it also means that the work remains uninterrupted even after their death. Once again, Kyoko typed quickly. Keep it up, but be careful not to let the mastermind notice you.
That's right.
Don't worry, I've got a secret plan all ready, just in case. Actually, I can see what's going on using my built-in webcam, so if anyone suspicious shows up, I'll just scream for help real loud. Yeah, that'll work. It's a pretty basic plan, I have to say.
Indeed.
That is fine during the day, but nighttime is a concern. Huh? Why?
Are you okay with this?
Have you forgotten? All our rooms are completely soundproof. Once we close our doors, we can scream as loud as they can scream as loud as they want, but we won't hear a thing. Okay then, how about once it's nighttime, we each take turns guarding the dressing room?
However,
There's a good chance the mastermind would notice us all going in and out of the dressing room like that. Then what can we do?
so then,
Once nighttime comes, I'll leave the door to my room open. Then there is no way I can miss Alter Ego yelling. But if you leave your door open all night,
it's
then
true.
there's a chance I may become a victim myself. I know.
However,
But I'm not as weak as you may think. I wouldn't go down without a fight, I assure you. There's an undeniable strength in her voice when she said that. She was totally confident she would be okay. That confidence was something similar to Byakuya's tone, but at the same time, different. Yeah, it had an entirely different feel, for sure. Like someone who's been dropped onto a battlefield versus someone who's been born on a battlefield. Yoko's actual hair color unclear. I presume it's something like a pale lavender. Given that she has a darker purple jacket, purplish eyes, like that whole range of pinky purple. Kind of her color set. Felt like that was the fundamental difference. Was pulled out of my thoughts by the voice suddenly emanating from the laptop. Do you mind if I asked a few questions? I haven't seen Master for a while. When you got here, I thought it was them, but is Master... For a split second, Kyoko seemed to not know what to do, but she recovered just as fast and quickly began typing. Her answer was clear, concise, and direct. Chihiro is dead. Mondo killed them.
Okay then.
I see. To be honest, I knew all along. I knew the chances that Master would survive this situation were very low. So I was prepared for this moment.
It's like...
The inconsistency. Somehow I feel kind of sorry for her. I can't even imagine how it must feel to lose your other self. It is a simple computer program. It does not have feelings. Are you sure about that?
Shall we go?
Anyway, that's enough for today. If we linger here too long, the mastermind will start to suspect something. Then Kyoko typed one last sentence. I'll come back later. Yes, do. It's a promise, okay? Bye-bye. The AI seemed totally different from when we'd first arrived. They seemed upbeat. Was it just because they followed because they were following their programming, or word tenses and whatnot? Could they have actually been worried about us?
Could it be?
What's wrong, Hero?
You know?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering if we might be able to get this laptop online. We could call for help from the outside. But this is just a dressing room. I don't think you can get online from here.
Well?
Well, if we take it out of here and find somewhere that does have online access, it's way too dangerous. The mastermind would find out in no time. Yeah, true. There's no time for taking needless risks. For now, I'll monitor the progress of the file analysis. I'm confident we'll uncover some kind of clue once it's finished. Feels like a detour more than anything else, but I suppose it can't be helped.
Of course.
For now, all we can do is wait for Alter Ego to finish their work.
You know?
So, should we get going?
It's true.
Indeed. Goodbye. Goodbye. We'll be back. I promise. Drool, drool. Come on, Hifumi, let's go.
I suppose.
Okay. And we all left the dressing room. As soon as we were out of the hall, Hina let out a joyful shout. Isn't it awesome? I ended up doing something totally awesome, right? As if he'd been waiting for his cue. Hina has gained enough experience to level up.
What's the matter?
So it was this awesome something. Monokuma.
What the heck?
You guys all seem in remarkably good spirits. Did something happen? Nothing in particular. Oh, keeping secrets? No fair. I demand an exclusive interview. Denied.
What the heck?
Just because you demand something doesn't mean we have to do it.
Say what?
Do it? You mean like, do it? Do it? Wait, what? What do you mean, do it? Do it? Ew, gross. You said do it.
Just the worst.
You said it first. Hina does seem the type to be drawn into this kind of argument. We were just talking about going to the bathhouse. We have not had a chance to relax in some time.
Huh?
Huh? But unfortunately, the bathhouse is not divided into men and women sections. So we decided to do rock, paper, scissors to decide which group would go first. Ina won the match for us, and that is why we are all so pleased.
Huh?
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of which, hey boys, why don't you head back to the dining hall or something? We're going to take a nice long bath.
Hey, come on.
What are you going to do, right? You lost fair and square. Well, ladies, shall we go? Celeste's nature as like the gambler makes her the trickiest as far as figuring out what if she's hiding something. Celeste didn't hesitate, coming up with the ruse, and her poker face didn't even flinch. So she and the other girls headed back into the dressing room.
Damnation!
We totally lost. Another day without getting to take my very first bath here. Yeah, but tomorrow for sure. You'll definitely get that bath tomorrow. Okay, so should we head back to the dining hall now?
Hey!
Hold on.
Hey!
Something strange here. Very strange. What do you mean? What's strange is this is the perfect chance for you to sneak a peek. Huh? You're absolutely right. That's right, Rose. If you know they're a liar, they're not a very good liar. But all you cared about was 2D. All of you need to shut up, sit down, and listen to what I have to say. An opportunity like this doesn't come along very often. The ideal setting of a man's fantasy. I was forced to ask myself, should I sneak into the bathhouse like Monokuma said, or just go quietly back to the dining hall? No, I can't do that. I can't treat the girls like that. Let's just head back to the dining hall. What? But what about your man's fantasy? I'm not sure a real man's fantasy would be about spying on girls and stuff. It should be more about your hopes or your dreams or whatever. But anyway, I'm not going to spy on them.
This is kind of depressing.
I see. I can't even describe my bitter disappointment. That primo fan service could have been yours. We headed back to the dining hall, leaving Monokuma standing there alone. Thanks for joining us, Rose. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Or day, or what have you. You know, what with time zones. We'll be back again on Monday if you'd like to join us again. But to be honest, even I was a little reluctant to turn down the offer.
It's like
Fantasy. My fantasy. I guess you dig the real thing just like any other guy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I care is because it's a good reference for creating figurines. Detailed figurines. Real live woman is useless to me, but looking at their naked form might be okay, maybe.
No way.
Yeah. Hifumi's still right on character. The girls heard you say that, we'd all be dead meat for sure. Meanwhile, we heard the buzzing of busy voices growing louder. Well, not necessarily, Rayday. Because remember, he's not necessarily about looking. And the bath would likely mask his point of actual interest. The girls had finished their baths and joined us in the dining hall.
You got it.
What a nice bath.
This is fine.
Getting a chance to stretch out and relax after all this time was a true pleasure.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Of course.
Normally after a long bath I like to make myself a nice protein coffee, but... Sorry, no time for that.
So in the end...
That's what I figured.
Actually,
You were just saying in the bath how it was about time for you to get up to something.
Because
After seeing how happy we were, an evil little monster like you would never let that last for long. You're all so terrible to me.
My entire existence!
Everyone's so cold and mean, even after I got presents for you all. Presents?
Well now.
Oh, have I got your attention? Then let's head to the gym, where your presents await.
See ya later!
No questions, no dilly-dallying. Get a move on, and everything will become clear.
Oh,
What is it? What are you scheming this
it
time?
would seem
He's probably going to repeat the same thing again, providing us with a motive to get things moving.
huh?
Again? I don't want to. I don't want to do this anymore. Me either. I'm, like, totally traumatized.
however,
It's okay. We have alter ego, she said out loud in a room where there's monitors. I'm sure he'll find something that'll help us.
correct.
For now, we just have to endure it, come what may. With heavy feet, we made our way to the gym, but when we arrived, there was already someone waiting for us.
What?
He kept waiting by the likes of you. Rest assured, if we had access to firearms, you'd all be dead. Yakuya, did you get here early? Did you forget how to walk? Is that why you're late? It's simple. Right foot, left foot, right foot. The same as always, I see. Her, on the other hand.
What the heck?
Well, she's back to her Debbie Downer self, huh? I heard what sounded like a sneeze, and she was back to her old self.
Huh?
So now she goes from manic to depressive whenever she sneezes? Seems kind of late to add that into the mix.
What the heck?
Why does everyone keep making fun of me? Hope you all win the lottery and get hit by a bus. So when you want to say something mean, then you can talk, huh?
Well,
Anyway, it looks like everyone's here.
So then,
Which means...
you guys?
Looks like everyone's here, so then let's get started.
What?
Come on, out with it. What kind of motive have you prepared for us this time?
However,
Whatever you subject us to, we will not break. That's right, we're not going to lose to you ever again.
come on!
You don't have to get so defensive. Calm down. I've decided to change things up a bit this time. Up till now, I've been using the whoosh of the north wind to get you all moving. But sometimes you've got to use the sun to light a fire under someone's butt.
Without further ado, I give you this! $10 million!
Going for straightforward.
I've prepared this graduation present for whichever lucky student makes it out of here alive. What do you think? It's 10 million bucks! 10 million smackaroos! It's like totally wowie, wow, wow, am I right?
So that's the motive you've prepared, is it? $10 million. Not nearly enough.
it's true.
When it comes to motives, money certainly is the gold standard, so to speak. whether it's a mystery novel or the real world. But
What are you saying?
there's no way we'd kill each other for money.
Of course.
She's right. You can't simply purchase a person's life. Now hold on there. Living in the modern world, we all know that's very incorrect. Whether it's because of the job market or the legal system, you definitely can. You can say 10 million or however much. I don't care. For serious. Yeah, they're all right. Whether it's 10 million or any other amount of money. Not even just money. From now on, no matter what you do, we won't kill our friends. Ha ha. Come on, stop trying to act tough. The most important thing is to live a pure and moral communal life. Monokuma disappeared, leaving his words on stage, along with the massive sum of money. There's nothing to worry about, right? Nobody would kill a friend for money, right? Have you so quickly forgotten the lesson from last time? You can't judge others by your own standard. Yeah, there might be someone here who's having money problems. Personally, I've earned over $1 million from my gambling efforts. My life is comfortable.
I'm telling you.
Fumi, what about you?
Nothing.
I'm a super popular content creator. I don't have any problems making enough to buy my comics and DVDs. Then,
Hey,
just stop. Pressing others about their personal finances is ugly. Ugly? Don't worry. Either way, whatever's going to happen will happen without warning. That is the nature of this game. Ding dong. Bing bong.
This is a school announcement. It is at
It's now 10 p.m. It is nighttime.
dining hall will be locked.
Dining hall will be closed and locked. Sweet dreams, don't get bitten by bugs. That time already, huh? Before we separate, let me remind you. Starting tonight, I'll be leaving my room door open to make sure nothing happens to Alter Ego. But just because my door is open, don't assume that will make me an easy target, or the predator may suddenly find itself the prey. Her voice was calm and composed, but it was clear she meant what she said. Okay, let's everyone head back to our rooms.
how about that?
Don't think about that whole money thing, got it? Good, then let's break. What was that? Pretty good, right, Taka? Right. Feels like it's a old like comedy duo act where you just have, you could have it like a sports announcer duo or something like that, where they're both sitting at a table at the event and the one person is remarkably animated and periodically says, "What do you think?" Hands over, nothing happens, switch back over, second person reacts as if they had made a comment. An excellent point you have there, Taka. As soon as I was back into my room, I crawled into bed. Money. There's no way that's going to get anyone to kill anyone else. I told myself that, but deep in my heart, I was still troubled. After all, I thought the same thing last time about having our secrets revealed. Even if the reason for it seemed completely nonsensical, a murder can still happen. That's the lesson we learned. But this time it's different. I'm sure of it. Everything will be fine. Because of the program Chihiro left behind, Alter Ego. We finally had some small hope to grasp onto. As long as we have that, then I'm sure. Little kids have it so easy, because they can put little in front of their names, and right off the bat, everyone thinks they're cute. Well, fine then. I want everyone to start calling me Little Monokuma. See, just by adding that, my cuteness goes up at least like 10%, right? Yeah, the world doesn't have nearly enough Lils. Or Lils would lead to the salvation of the world. Just imagine, little arsonist, little war criminal, little destruction of the environment, little hit and run, little death tax, little Great Depression.
Even the darkest subject can suddenly become brighter. Our dreams are expanding. Ding, ding. Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 a.m. Get ready
This
to
morning, head to the dining hall. Okay, we are actually gonna stop here for the night, folks. I had hoped to go much longer, but I am exhausted. And I don't want to doze off in the middle of this. So we're gonna call it here. Going to try to catch up on some other work as I can, and then work on the schedule for next week. There is a newer game that I want to weave in at some point next week. It should only take a day to play it, but it should be an amusing diversion. We are definitely going to have some more of this. I may stick with 2 days, but I might spread them out a little bit too, so that they're not back to back this coming week. We shall see. But in any event, I do hope everybody had a good time today. Gonna see if I can make some of these buttons work this time. Will this function? Will it function? Well, how about this, folks? Going forward, at the end of the streams, if you have suggestions for folks that you think would be a good raid target that you know are streaming currently, let me know, and I can set it up to jump everybody over to them. But for now, we're going to wrap it up here. So again, thanks everybody for joining, and I will see you again on